Here's the little area in Belgium where I am staying at the present. I just wanted to show everybody just a few seconds of beautiful Belgium. Hello everybody, it's me, Doretta, the Chocolate Diamond, and I am doing this whip and chat in Hasselt, Belgium. I am here in Belgium visiting with my son and my grandson. My son is off to work and my grandson is off with his mom. So I'm diamond painting. So I decided to do a whip and chat. This will probably not be a very long whip and chat, but when I went to Punta Cana, I did a little whip and chat with a travel kit, with a very small kit. And this time I am traveling with a DAC kit, and she is not small. This is Dragon Spirit that I'm traveling with by Margaret Morales. She's a 22-inch by 32-inch kit. Now, mind you, incidentally, I didn't bring one of my storage. This is the old storage method. This is what I first started with, using the box the canvas came in. I cut it down because I really didn't need the whole box. But I kitted up in baggies, and I put the baggies in the box. I rolled the canvas on the foam roller and put it in the carrying box, which worked out very nicely. So no matter what you want to do to travel, whether you want to take a very small kit, which is what, a 4x4 canvas, or if you want to take a very large canvas, you can do so. I didn't want to take like my preferred method of storage, which is the knockoffs of Elizabeth Ward, because I could only take one suitcase on the aircraft free of charge. If I took a second, I would have to pay $100. And I am not trying to do that. So I got everything I possibly could that I needed in that one suitcase. And then I had my little carry-on bag and my food that I took on the plane. Something, to snack on and what have you. So I am here in Belgium. The little town my son is from is called Hasselt, I believe you pronounce it as. Hasselt, I believe is how you spell it. I've only been here a few days now. I got here Wednesday. More than a few days. I got here Wednesday. Yes, I got here Wednesday morning. And it is now Monday. It's Monday here. Belgium is 6 hours ahead of where I'm from. I'm originally from Philadelphia, of course. I'm originally from Philadelphia, but I live in New Jersey now. And that area is East Coast time, and it is 6 hours behind the time it is here. So if it is 5:43 p.m. here, it is what? What time is it there? I don't even know. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I don't have this stuff committed to memory. It is 11, almost 12 o'clock in the afternoon in Philadelphia, because it's going on 6 o'clock at night here. So it is very challenging trying to remember the time, and I'm glad they have everything on your daggone phone so I can pull up the clock and see what time it is back there in Philadelphia slash Jersey. So it's around noon. It's coming up on noontime back there. So anyway, I've been here since Wednesday morning and driving here to my son's home because he lives here. He's been here, I believe, 5 years now. Looking at the scenery and trying to, I can't understand the signs because all the signs are in Dutch. But the scenery was absolutely epic. It was beautiful. Um, didn't do too much the first day because I was exhausted. I had been up for over 24 hours. The flight here was like 9 hours. Um, it wasn't a direct flight. It was from Philadelphia to Chicago. Yes, I flew into the Windy City, Philadelphia to Chicago, and then from Chicago to Brussels. So, the flight to Chicago was relatively uneventful. The flight here to Belgium, and there he was a kid. He was, I guess, around 5 years old, give or take a year or two. Not real sure how old he was, but he was constantly yelling that he wanted off the plane and he wanted off the plane now. You're on a flight with someone and they're constantly whining or crying or whatever. It's not the best trip, I will say. There was a newborn on the plane that hardly cried at all, and this child, was just being obnoxious, for the lack of a better way to put it. And you're on this plane for 9 hours trying to fly here, and you're dealing with somebody's child that didn't want to be there. So it didn't make for the best run, but I'm here now. We went out Thursday. We went to the store and we picked up stuff to eat and what have you. And I think Friday I met with a couple of his friends. He's got a good mix of friends here, and a lot of the adults speak a lot of the adults speak English very well, but the children not so much. So a lot of the kids, even though I guess they understood when I said hi, when I waved, they waved back. Yeah, it was interesting. One thing I definitely did that I always have to do whenever I visit my children is I brought Philly steaks, Philly cheesesteaks, Philly pretzels, and tasty cakes. I bring the care package whenever I come visit my kids, whether I visit my son in Colorado or when I come here to visit my son in Belgium. I've been here one time before, but that was 2 years ago, I believe. Anyway, we visited with his friends Friday. Then what happened Saturday? I don't remember what happened Saturday. See what happens when your life is boring? My life is so boring. Oh shoot. Saturday spent most of the day with my son and my grandson here, and the kids were playing in the neighborhood. He has a good group of friends that kind of hang out together. It's my son's house, and 3 other neighbors. Um, the kids play together, which is really nice. And the kids get along very well, and they bounce from house to house to house. But Saturday we wind up going to my grandson's practice because he likes soccer. He plays soccer, and I know there are different types. Don't get me to lying as to which one he plays. He plays soccer though, and I think he does very well. He's 10 years old. He's 10 years old, and he has a very big circle of friends. So I guess that's a good thing. Um, we went to his practice, and he played. And this was the last practice of the season. They start again in August. But since this is the last for this particular season, they had a food truck out for the kids and their family to partake on. And it was really nice, but I'm allergic to pork. So I wasn't sure if I should partake. But the people were so very nice. They they offered to cook the food or to cook the chicken that I wanted, um, where they cook the fries, because they cook the meat separately from the fries. So they offered, since I told them I'm allergic, they offered to cook the chicken that I wanted because it was shaped like a hot dog, but it was a piece of chicken and it was kind of breaded. It was delicious, don't get me wrong. But I was concerned because the sausages that they had were pork. They also had a vegan option, but I chose the chicken. So they cooked it for me where they cooked the French fries, which again, that was so awesome of them to offer to do that. I didn't know if they, because I don't know how fluent some people speak English, although my son and my grandson said the adults speak English. Um, there are a few times that when you try to talk to folks and ask directions or ask them a question, they would say no speak English. That didn't happen very often, but I'm going to be completely honest, it has happened. Um, but for the most part, the people here are very accommodating. They're very kind. They're very outgoing. They're very helpful. Because the lady at the food cart, it was 2 people. There was a lady and a gentleman, but the lady offered to cook the chicken for me where they cook the fries, and they said they cooked the fries separately. So I was able to partake at the food truck. Well, I was going to have the fries anyway because she said they cook them separately. But this way I got to partake. I had a little bit of a meal. So anyway, sorry, I should have muted my phone, but I forgot. Anyway, we sat and we ate. He talked a lot to the friends. I watched my grandson practice and do his different drills and stuff. It was nice. It was fun. And my grandson was over the moon that I was there to watch him practice. He was really happy about that. And then we came back here and we got ready for bed because by then it was getting late. Well, Sunday when we got up, the kids came by to play with my grandson. And after a while, the parents came over. It was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when the parents came over, and they decided they wanted to, pick up some stuff, and we had snacks out in the back. And they got to meet me and talk to me and have drinks with me. I don't really drink. I had one little drink, And after that, I was drinking water. But my son and his friends and his neighbors, they were drinking and chatting, and they asked me about my son. So, of course, I had to tell them the different stories about what went on when my kids were growing up. And I made the mistake of telling them my son's nickname. So I think I am in the doghouse because I told them his nickname that I still call him to this day, but I try not to say it around other people because when he was in the military, um, I made the mistake of saying his nickname and they started teasing him and yada yada boo boo boo. Anyway, long story short, we had a great time. Them talking about the different things that go on here and me telling them the stories about when my children were growing up and me being in the military. And he talked about his 20 years in the Air Force. So I believe I've said that I come from a military family. My father was in the Army. I've had uncles in the Army. Um, my son was in the Air Force. Um, so, we did the stories and they asked me about where I was stationed. I was stationed in Mannheim, Germany. Um, my son went back to where we were stationed because him living over here in Europe, he travels from place to place to place a lot. So he went back to Mannheim and looked around and, the place that he remembers from his teenage years and Frankenthal, the apartment where we used to stay, he went back there and took pictures and sent the pictures to me. So my children are used to getting around. They're um, very comfortable with going wherever they need to go. I guess because I took them to Germany with me when I was in the military. They also went with me when I was stationed in Augusta, Georgia. So, and of course, when I was here with their friends, I'm telling them all the different stories. And I even told them the sad story about how my son's dog got stolen back when we were here stationed in Mannheim. His dog was a good dog. Oh my God, he was a blue tip beagle. And I know how people are big on pets around here. So I had someone pet sitting while my kids were back in the States visiting with their dad. And when the kids came back and I went to the gentleman, he told me the dog got stolen. I don't know if that actually happened, but anyway, I'm telling them all these different stories. So it started getting late. The kids had migrated back to one of the other parents' home. So when we realized the kids had left, of course, we went to see what the kids were doing. And when we got to the other parent's house across the road, she decided to put on the grill and start cooking food. So then we moved from my son's house to the neighbor's house. We moved the liquor, and they were cooking food, and we sat over there at the neighbor's house for quite some time until it was time for the kids to start getting ready for bed because they had to go to school the next day. And I'm sure the parents had to go to work. So I guess around 9 o'clock, the festivities broke up and we came back here and chilled out and watched a movie for a while, laughed and talked until it was until we were ready to go to bed. Today, we went out and we took my grandson to school, and then my son and I, we sat around here and we chatted for a bit until it was time for him to go to work. So now I'm here all alone, diamond painting. So I said, well, let me do a whip and chat. And it's rare that I have any stories to tell So, and since the first couple of days have been kind of more eventful for me than ever, because most of the time I'm sitting at home diamond painting, and I'll look for tag questions when I want to do a whip and chat, so I can make a video and post it to my channel. So anyway, I I'm supposed to leave in about 2.5 weeks. Well, maybe it's just 2 weeks now because it's Monday, so we're into the new week. So I've got 2 more weeks here to visit with my son, and he's talking about taking me to Paris. So hopefully I'll get to go to Paris, because when I was stationed here, when I was in the Army myself and my kids were younger, I didn't have the finances to travel. So maybe we'll get to do it. If not, I still got to visit with my son, which is wonderful for me. I enjoy seeing them, how they've grown up, because you would love for your kids to say little and be your little ones all the time, but everybody's got to grow up. I grew up, they grew up. So I have my son here in Belgium. He works for Federal Express. No, no, no. What does he work for? The planes. Oh my God, I don't remember. Yeah, Federal Express. Yes, he works. That's a shame. But he's an aircraft mechanic. So he works for Federal Express, the international branch. So he comes to the States rarely because he has his son, and when they can get off, he comes. But most times it's either I get one or the other, the one in Colorado or the one here in Belgium. I rarely get them together, but I think it was June or July of last year, I had all three of my kids together, which was absolutely fabulous. Now I'm back to, seeing one at a time kind of thing. And that's fine. Uh, but we're talking about all coming together to visit my son in Colorado. So stay tuned. With any luck, I'll be doing a whip and chat and saying, we're all here in Colorado, all three of my children together in Colorado. We're talking about doing that next year, next summer. So hopefully we'll get to do that. But anyway, that is my whip and chat. I wanted to do a little something so folks could see I Diamond Art Club. Well, not just Diamond Art Club. Canvases. Any size canvas can travel. You roll it up in one of the canisters, and they travel well. It might be a little more difficult to take the larger canvases somewhere, but as you see, I'm at my son's dining room table, and I am diamond painting and talking to you guys. So if you want to take a big canvas, you can do so. If you want to take a small canvas, you can do so. Those, I think, I got this one from Amazon. It adjusts to different sizes. You turn it, and it adjusts to whatever size you need. So it can be real small, or you can roll it all the way out, and it'd be real large. So you can travel with any size canvas. It depends on what you want to do. And since I'm here in Belgium and I was working on this canvas for an event, well, actually, I'm doing 3 events. Um, the May Flowers 2025. I write them on the back of my canvas. The May Flowers 2025, the Asian DP Along, and the Mermaids and Magic. And since I was doing this canvas for that, I didn't want to leave it since I was going to be here until almost the end of the month. So that was my motivation for bringing this canvas as opposed to bringing a snack size canvas. So just so you guys know, if you want to travel with a large canvas, you can do so. You can bag them up in baggies, or you can do them, put them in your preferred method of storage. But be careful how you pack them because you don't want the cases to break or anything. That's why I did the baggies, because I could put the baggies in a Ziploc bag and know that they're going to be relatively safe. But I'm here. I got the canvas clamped to the table. So clamped to the table so you guys can see. Hold on. You guys can see that I'm working from the top down. So as I put the drills, I slide the canvas up. This is my storage method. I already showed you that. My water so I can stay hydrated. My tablet because I was going to do fun facts about Belgium. But I read through it and I tried to do a previous whip telling you about the 10 fun facts. And I couldn't pronounce the words. I'm sorry. But so you know, the Belgian waffles here are the best. They put all kinds of stuff on their waffles and they are absolutely delicious. That's all I have for you guys. But I did do a quick little video. Excuse me. I did a quick little video of this little street that my son's on that I'm going to try and attach to the front, to the beginning of this video. So I just wanted to do a quick video. This is Chocolate Diamond coming from Belgium, Hasselt, Belgium. Thanks for watching. I hope you like and subscribe. Bye.